What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, usually on this stream, I'm going live. We're going to talk about futures, but right now we have to talk about Doge. How many people are texting me right now asking me if I know what the Department of Government Efficiency stands for? There are some that even think all of this was planned from the beginning, and that's how Doge was even created. So, for everyone out there asking me what do I think about Doge, we're gonna dive right in and talk about it. Yes, I do know about the acronym Department of Government Efficiency, and looking at it right now, this is the weekly time frame. We had a high of, we'll call it 44 cents. So Doge went as high as 44 cents. And everyone's asking now, is now a good time to buy? And I got to say, in my space, when you see something go on a run like this, if you're not already in it, you are chasing. You stand to lose more than you do to gain. Now, currently, it is in the spotlight, right? So we have the Department of Government Efficiency. We have all the reasons why this could continue to go on. But you guys do need to understand Doge at this point was higher than it was back when it was 74 cents due to just the natural dilution of this and how many coins are in circulation. I think there's 14 million coins made a day. So you do need to buy that many just to hold it at break even. That's without anybody selling and locking it in and taking profit. So the one down thing to where I'm usually like, hey, maybe buy the dip. And you can. Maybe the spotlight does live on. Buying the dip on this when it does come down, I do have to question, does it go back up? And that's why for me, I don't know if it's worth it. Starting to look like a top, like a little candy cane. Starts to come back down. If I were to buy it right now, at most, I would stop out at 32 cents and I would hope the run continues. But buying in something like this will be spicy. Okay. So this is something you do want to have a plan, or I promise you will fail at this. So jumping in, ask yourself right now, are you chasing this? So hopefully that answers everyone's questions on, am I buying Doge? Is now a good time? Should I buy Doge? Personally, I get made fun of for this because there's some nerd that's going to show up in the comments like, oh, I'm going to buy Doge because Doge is going to go to whatever. And they've got some price target that's completely unrealistic. But there's a lot of things about this market that just might be unrealistic. So I'm not here to judge, nor do I care. I genuinely hope everybody makes money on this. I would just start by asking, what are your goals? What do you want to make? And if your answer is, I want to make a lot of money, like, all right, sure. Now let's get back to reality, okay? Because everyone wants to make a lot of money. Okay, that's literally everyone's thing. They want to go out, make a bunch of money for no work whatsoever. That's fine. I'm certainly not judging anybody for that. I would love that. Okay. Aside from what I do is like literally click my thumbs and a bunch of money shows up in my account. I don't know how much easier things get than trading, but I do know you can lose money just as fast, if not faster. So this is something you probably, again, did want to front run the risk on and maybe be in it. Shout out to everybody that did hold it this whole time. Hopefully you didn't buy it 70 cents last time in the midst of the hype. But it will be harder and harder every day this is in circulation to get it up to that dollar mark that everyone's talking about. So it needs to be in the spotlight. It needs to remain in the spotlight. But the Department of Government Efficiency has nothing to do with Doge. Unless something changed and they're going to use that coin for something, I just don't see how it would. The Department of Government Efficiency is Elon Musk saying, hey, there's 423 or 428 government agencies, and he wants to get that down to 99 or less. He's not going to pay them all off with Doge. Okay, they just don't meld together. It was a funny acronym. Elon liked Doge because he likes an underdog thing, right? And no one thought Doge was going to make it. But if you follow the money and his actions, what does Tesla have? What does Elon personally have? They have Bitcoin. They have a lot of Bitcoin. So if they believed in it so much and saw the value there, why didn't Tesla buy Doge? Why are we talking about this as a joke, but buying, talking in one hand, buying in the other hand? Yeah. On top of Bitcoin, there are some people telling Trump that he needs to buy 1 million Bitcoin, and this needs to be handled within it needs to be addressed the first 100 days of him in office, and they're thinking maybe he can buy 1 million Bitcoin over the next 4 years, and that could be a reserve for the U.S. dollar. First of all, if that happens, Bitcoin's going to 500,000 probably in a week. Dom says the safe Doge play is to take the money you would have used to buy Doge and build yourself a Doge mining rig. Not bad. I kind of like the idea of that. But yeah, I think most people, when they ask me the question, is Doge a buy? I think they have no idea what they're doing. And please don't take offense to that. Nobody knows what they're doing. To be honest, if you're brand new to this, honestly, if you're a couple of years into this, you're so new, it's silly, right? If you haven't been here, and I'm saying this 5 years, you can get the hang of things in a year or two. There's still a lot of curveballs the market can throw at you. By about the 5-year mark, you've probably seen a majority of them. You're not going to get caught off guard too easy. So if you're under that, I get it, but you need to have a plan or you're not going to make it to the 5-year mark. So that's the only thing I would consider. What if he works with Michael Saylor and maybe buys MicroStrategy as the reserve? That sounds like something somebody would make up on Wall Street Bets. Wow, TikTok's blowing up. There's 114 of you guys watching right now. Interesting. What's up, you guys? Make sure you hit the follow button. I try to answer everyone's questions as much as I can. I'm also live on YouTube, so if you guys just jumped in, maybe you were busy, you were working, you didn't catch the beginning, I try to keep everything the same, so when you do chime in, you just kind of know where you're at. Typically, when I go live, I'll break down the dollar. We'll jump into maybe the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. We'll go over Bitcoin, and then we'll go over the S&P, the NASDAQ, and then Grandpa Dow. And then I'll turn to the chat and answer any questions there. Casper saying, hold Doge. I would trail Doge. If I already bought Doge, then I had it below 15 cents, it's going to take nukes going. It's going to take something weird going off to make me lose this position. I would probably have my alert or a stop loss in place at 30, 32 cents, right? I don't want green trades going red. It's very easy to make money in the market. And I mean, it is very easy. I don't say that condescendingly. It's easy. You can luck around, mess around, and all of a sudden there's just more money in your account. It's a lot easier to just give it back, though. Okay. And you don't want to be in a position of just doing that. If you, and I do break this down a lot with my private group because they say, hey, should I buy this? The question is not where is it at now? Where is it going? Where do you think Doge is realistically going? Does it have the power, the energy, the momentum? Can it get to this level? You can be some nerd talking about AMC going to 100 grand. You know how much thought I put into that? Literally zero. You know how many people actually believed that? There was a ton of, a whole mess of people actually thought that could really happen. Clueless. Okay. So it needs to be realistic, and realistically, do you think this thing could go to $1? Okay. You could probably still double your money on that. Now, I just said double your money. It's at 36 cents. And I know some of you guys might be doing the math thing. Well, it's more than that. It's probably not. If a trade's going to go from 1 to 100, you're not going to capitalize 1 to 100. You might get in late, buy it at 10. You're likely going to sell it at 80 or 90, and capturing the bulk of it, if you could capture it from 10 to 90, you're doing a phenomenal job. So realistically, where do you think it's going to go? And if it were to make that situation, that stretch, when do you actually get out? Due to you're trailing it, moving your stop loss up, and it tags out, or you've had enough, you just want to be the first one on the safety boat. Ask the people at the Titanic. There's something to be said about being the first one on the safety boat, first one off that ship. Last ones, they struggled a little bit. Ask Jack for his whore girlfriend. Made him drown. Never forget Jack. Lisa says, come on, Don, YOLO. You can YOLO whatever you want, but I can't tell somebody to YOLO in good conscience. All right. About 5K of Doge back in 2020 at 0.002. Is it smart to hold till $1? Oh, man. Is it smart? Ooh, I don't know if IQ is going to play a part in this. I think there's stupid things you can do. And then I think you're going to need luck on your side. As much as people hate to say it, you need a little bit of luck on your side because the market's got to go in your direction. There's a lot of things that can go against you at this point. You bought it at 0.002, and it's at 36 cents. You bought $5,000 worth. You're up a lot. How bad would it be? Let's say you took 2/3 of that position off, if not 3/4. Okay. You sell 75% of that right now. 25% of that goes to $1. Bang and trade. That's a success story. You sell it, that 25% goes right back down to 4 cents. You still sell it, still a profit, still a success story. Uh, at this point, it would be how much should I sell right now? Honestly, maybe I'm a little too conservative. I don't have the YOLO side in me. I admit the Wall Street bets nerds they give me FOMO when I see somebody turn $3,000 into 3 million because they were just ignorant. I'm like, how'd that happen? That's illegal insider knowledge. I that's illegal. Yeah, that's all I want to tell them. It makes me so angry. 2020, I left a lot of money on the table by doing things stupidly like trading. I should have just bought anything. I would have made more. Um, so I don't know. I think there's one says, nah, $1, no less. Hey, send it. If you have that kind of conviction, here's what you can do. You can understand all of the risks in every metric. You bought it at 0.002. You're going to have a lot of time to get out before that trade actually goes red. So it's going to be a success story regardless. It could drop back down to 15 cents. You could still wait for it to go to $1 after that, and you still made a bunch of money. Again, I would just understand all the risks because everyone's going to be different. There's someone in the chat right now that's going to YOLO, something ridiculous. 99% of them are going to fail. There's going to be that one. It's always that one that shows back up because the other 99%, they're not showing up to tell you how much they suck. They will take it personal. They're not showing back up. That one little yapper is just going to come in like a little chihuahua. He's not going to shut up. He's going to tell you about how much money he made and how he called it. Now, he's never going to duplicate that, but he's going to let you know how he did on that one time. Again, understand all the risks, understand what's in it for you. That person on the other side of the chat, you're never going to meet that person. Best case scenario, you get a digital high five. They say, hey, good job. I will give you all the high fives you want. Did anyone tell you look beautiful today? I'll give you all the compliments you want right here, right now. You don't need to come in with a success story. Tell me how much you didn't lose, and I'm here for it. But anyway, consider you because it's your money. Everyone else asked me about Pepe and I see a bunch of other ones. I haven't looked at them. If it looks like this right now, my answer is probably going to be the same. These meme coins are a game of hot potato, if not hungry hippos. Now, just imagine this. There's a lot of stupid piling in and throwing out free money. I'm here for it. But you're playing a game of hungry hippos. You're trying to get all the marbles you can, get all the dollars you can. That's the name of this game. I want to pay taxes on it. I don't want a tax write-off. I want to sell that for a profit. So if it's Pepe, Degen, XRP, been, I think, around a little bit longer, may have a little bit more to stand on. I don't know how I would put this in a rate of like, there's Bitcoin and then there's like, you kind of just step down. I would say like Ethereum's where it starts and then it really gets out. Some are just out in the weeds. They have a random pump and then hopefully the person doesn't just sell all the money off from underneath you and you get the rug pull. That is the case for 99.9% of these meme coins. Their new names are no go for me. Survivorship bias is a beautiful thing. Someone says 69 cents, then 420. If Doge goes to 420, I'll have nothing to say. I'll never stream again. Ever. I think that'd be the end of my YouTube channel. 100%. I'd be gone. TikTok, it was fun while it lasted. I got a bunch of subscribers just right now. There's 200 people watching me live right now. I'd leave. I'd feel horrible. Two, I missed out on the market. I'm over here buying things like Nvidia and Tesla. Turns out all I had to do was buy some meme coin. I had to buy a frog, At some point, someone called it racist. Now I should have just made a bunch of money on it. It's a game of musical chairs. It really is. If you're playing the game of musical chairs, leave your emotions out. This is what I do see a lot of. People come into the chat and they get emotional. If I don't say their coin's going to $1 million, they think I'm like talking it into existence. Like, no, if everybody's not on board, F that guy. He's wrong. My coin's going up because I was in my echo chamber and I heard this and that. Like it's wild. It really is a game of musical chairs, or what's the other game? Whack-a-mole. You're not the one with the hammer. Okay, you're up there taking a peek, looking around. Someone's bringing the hammer. You just don't want to be up when it happens. You want to get your money out. What am I trading right now? Not Dogecoin. I wish I was. Buying Bitcoin. I buy that every week. I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every week. I think that's going up much higher, which awesome news for you guys. A rising tide raises all ships. Percentage wise, you guys will kill me. So I'm hoping we all win here. I don't know if there's any validity to Trump buying Bitcoin as a reserve. I know there's a lot of talk about it. I think that's driving in some hype as well. If that actually comes to fruition, what you guys are making now, scraps. Nothing, literally nothing compared to what would happen if the U.S. decided to buy 1 million Bitcoin for a reserve. That might be a fantasy land for some, so it's nothing I can really go into that. But I do a lot. I'm trading a lot of Mara and Beto right now. Mara's probably my heavier one as far as trading goes, but I do a lot of Tesla and Nvidia, a lot of those. Why didn't I buy Doge? Honestly, it's just not my expertise, not my cup of tea. I've been trading for 12 years, so I've seen a lot of these come and go. Now, this meme movement or era, I guess, is brand new. I've watched a lot of people lose. I'll buy meme coins, or not meme coins. For instance, if ask anybody in my group, I literally bought AMC 2 days before it shot up. I bought December calls. Okay, I was 70 grand in Amazon option contracts. Amazon tanking that day. My account is green. I have no idea why. I literally thought it was a bug. I was like, it's glitching out. I should be very red today. Close it out, open it back up. I am killing it on AMC, going nuts, made a killing. So if I can get in before any hype, I'm there. I've just seen a lot of train wrecks and disasters because it really is walking on eggshells. I would not be the least bit surprised to see Doge at 20 cents tomorrow. Just now, 20 cents, 55 cents would not affect me either way. I would not be surprised by any of these movements. And because I trade for a living, I have to make money. Like that's what pays the bills. So I can't afford to just be YOLOing stuff like this. I can't put any real capital behind it. So that's why. Palantir has been fun the last few weeks. Are you still in? Yeah. Palantir's a great one. That's one I have had for a while. I will have it for a while. I did sell quite a bit, honestly, at $40. It was ridiculous. But when you buy it at 10, it goes to 40. Still a good trade. How do I feel about Pepe? Haven't even looked at it. Is it Pepe USD? Is that what it is? Pepe. Okay, Pepe USD. It's on Coinbase. You know, for a while, honestly, I have Coinbase. I wouldn't touch it or even care about it if it wasn't on something like Coinbase. Coinbase just had a tighter rules. You know, I felt a little bit better about that. We can't pull up anything about this chart right now, though. Give me one second. Let's pull up Kraken. See, it looks just like Doge. So, guys, here's what's going on. And this is just the basics, right? This is either a whole bunch of buyers coming in, okay? You need to tilt the scales. There's a whole bunch of buyers or there's just no sellers. Now, that's what causes this green candle right here. And we even tried to push it this far, but now sellers are there. So somebody right now disagrees with whatever you guys are saying about Pepe in the chat. Think it's going to go to 1 million. If they thought that, then this red candle wouldn't be here. This wick and this candle would not be here without sellers. So somebody's selling. In fact, that's a lot of zeros. With just zero, we're going to just do a little squiggly line. 20846. Nothing's gone above that. In fact, every time it has, there's been a market order sell. If you were to look at the book, somebody sold the whole book. Just, hey, get rid of it, sell it all. That's where my profit taking is. Now, the question ultimately is who's selling and are they done selling? Is there more? Is this going to be the top? Because this will eventually lead to more. As soon as that turns into a red candle down here, everybody has like their choke point, their tipping point where they get out. This is basic trading. At this point, everyone in the chat's like, oh, Pepe this, Pepe that. Then there's a red candle this big. One person said, I'm out. Okay, then the red candle gets this big. 2, 3, 4 people are out. Okay, nothing brings on red candles like the previous red candle. Okay, just the psychology behind it. You guys see a green candle, your eyes are dollar signs. This thing's obviously going to 1 million. I'm sure at least 50 of you right now out of the 225 have said, what if this goes to $1? What if it goes to a penny? What if it goes to 10 cents? Huge gains. You're probably a Pepe millionaire because you spent $6. Uh, those are I don't know anything about this coin. I don't know the protocol. I don't know anything about it. As a trader, I know it pumped, and I know somebody right now. When everyone says this is going to go to the moon, everybody that thought this thing's going to go to the moon at 0.00 a million zeros one, this position's on the moon for them right now. They're there. They've landed. They've touched down. They're sporting the American flag right there on the moon. Whether you think that's in Arizona or actually on the moon, they're there and they're selling. So why do you want to be jumping in right now? Because you're who they're selling to, and that's what as a trader I look at. Like this would have been cool back here. Maybe somebody gave me the heads up. Pepe was going to be big. I could have bought it down here. I could have had a stop loss down here, and I would have known how much do I want to get in. And right now, banging, I'm on the gain train. My feet are on the desk. I'm hanging out. I don't even care about selling this. I have my stop loss in the green, and I'm chilling. And this goes for stocks, futures, forex. Every asset class that I trade, that's how I treat it. Once it's already up there, man, we're walking through a minefield. I'm just waiting for somebody to just dump this thing, and then here I am. Because right now, I could sell Pepe coin, and it would fill like that, and I'd probably have it fill somewhere about where it's at on the chart. Wait till that red candle shows up, and everybody disperses like cockroaches. My fill gets worse. It's harder to sell. The spread gets wider. It just puts you in it puts the sellers in control. And that's not a good thing. Pumped because of the add to Robinhood. Robinhood added quite a few coins to their thing. I know they brought SOL back. I didn't even mean to talk about this today, but I heard about it. Robinhood bringing a lot back. I would say I would be retired right now if my friend never sold Doge. He bought Doge off the sole fact it's a brand new coin on Robinhood. 77 million. Thought, man, if only you just held that, that would have been great. That was his indefinite brilliance right there. All of his intelligence just added up to I should buy this because it's new. Had he just held that and it been a move, he sold his 77 million up there. It'd been great. When should we buy into Doge? Personally, what I would want to do, and I say this a lot with stocks, and I'm about to break down some stocks right now. We got to move on. I judge the bull run by the bears. So let's look at Tesla real quick. Right now we're selling off, so I can't wait to look at this later. All right, so let's get this. So what you're seeing on screen right now, I'm gonna take off today's price action. All we've seen on Tesla, let me make sure it's up here. So for everyone on TikTok, the screen kind of cuts off right here. I don't know why it's moved over so much. But either way, in the YouTube world, you see these red candles. You know what? I have to move this over. 1 second. I don't know why TikTok moved this screen over. I don't like it. It does take off the watermark. So what? Makes the story a little bit easier. All right, so right now, this is what we have. This is the equivalent of you guys asking, should I buy Doge right now? I don't know. Easy. Pump the brakes. We have it soaring up. Green, 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 green. There is no sellers. There's a couple buyers, and it's just driving that up. Everyone has their price, and that's all that's filling on these green candles. I'll go ahead and sell a couple shares here, and we're just jumping this thing up. And I judge a bull trend by the bears. So we get a couple red candles in. Okay, the bears are showing up. This is good news. Now, before the breakdown today, honestly, that's all the bears could do. That's all your selling got. We were so high. It was on the moon. Everyone said take profit, and 3 bears show up. That's it. Now I'm thinking, hey, now I can buy this dip because the bears started to sell off, and the bears kind of look like it stopped. We know it didn't because it's selling off today. Now, for me, when it breaks down into one of these zones, that's when I'm buying. Anything sub 300 for me is a buy for Tesla. But I like the red candles to show up, and then I like the red candles to stop. When they stop, what's going on there are the buyers showing up and counteracting the landslide. Okay, so when that happens, I know I'm not the only buyer. I know someone's with me, and I'm buying that. So when I say I'm waiting for the dip, I don't care if Doge goes to 70 cents and then pulls back to 30 cents. I would rather buy it then than try to buy it right now at 36 cents and then ride this all the way down. Because when this thing starts trending down, you don't know where it's going to stop. And if Doge goes all the way down to 15 cents, that's a long ride from 36 cents. That's a huge position, huge percentage of your position. So I want the sellers to show up. Now, if Doge bases out, goes sideways, that tells me the sellers showed up and they couldn't do jack. There was zero follow through. Now I can consider that, okay, this is my point to get in. Sells off and slows down, kind of creates that smaller base. Hey, here comes the dip buy. I'm going to buy that. It could always turn around. Again, doing this for 12 years, it's always a red or green candle. When it bases out, nothing changes. Still a red or green candle. It's going to continue south or it's going to turn around. But at least there, if I bought this base right here, I'd have my stop right here. Today I would have tagged out. Big deal. So what? Losses are a part of the game. You're going to get it. But I would have a small loss right here, and then I'll wait for it, and I might get back in. That's it. Dips for chips. Run it down. I don't know what that even means, but it's awesome. All right. Let's talk about real coins. Tag and bag. Shout out to everybody sharing this. 283 of you guys watching live. 56 new followers. YouTube, where are you at? Guys, take notes. Okay, everyone on TikTok sharing it. There's 310 people watching. There's 4,700 likes. YouTube over here, 53. That's the best you got. That's your support system. Who on YouTube has shared this? I've heard a lot of people saying that it low-key might go down, then shoot to the moon. Then I low-key would be buying that dip. And risk management is where it's at. The worst thing you can do is buy the peak. If something's trending up, if you think Doge is going to $1, again, you more than double your money if you're right. The question is not if you're right. It's what if you're wrong. Start judging your positions on that, and you will go 10 times further. Now, if you go buying a bunch of crap and lose all your money, there's nothing I can do to help you out. You start buying some stuff thinking, okay, if this happens, here's what I'm going to do. Here's how it's going to affect me. If that's too much, dial back that position. Maybe you don't spend $5K on Doge. Yeah, we're not spending rent money here. But if you could just last that little bit longer, then you can start to fine tune things, mold who you are as a trader, and then you literally turn this into an income, which is, I can't express how easy it is for me. There's a reason why I can talk all the crap I want on YouTube. I don't need to make YouTube money. I make money from trading. I literally click my thumbs and money shows up in my account. That's it. My take on degen. It just sounds funny as a coin. Bunch of degenerates. The fact that they're naming this stuff after you guys. I don't say that in an offensive way. Right here. Actually, this is where I could have gotten in degen. This is everything I just described to you guys. Okay, I'll take it off screen here. Right here. This is you guys asking me, should I buy Doge? I can't tell you what to do with your money, but every fiber of my being wants to say, are you absolutely crazy? No. Wait for a pullback. Wait for something. Now look at this. Okay, we're starting to flatten out. The sellers, they showed up because that's what makes that happen. Okay, that's all the farther the sellers got. Now I know I can go long. I can put my stop right here at 16. I guess 16.2. Oh, that's 1.6 cents. So 0.162. I can put my stop loss right there, and I'm good, right? If it breaks that, sucks to suck. You take a small loss, you move on. Turns out it wasn't a degenerate, or it goes up and you make a bunch of money. Okay. Now look, my stop loss is there. The trade's good, starting to work in my favor. Now I put my stop loss in the green. Now kick your feet up on the desk, hands behind your head. It's a much more comfortable position to be in. Just lean that chair back and watch the gain train get to work. That's how you take the trade. Wait for a base, wait for some kind of pullback, wait for the opposing force to show up, and then see how big they are. Okay? You're going to play a game of tug of war. This is like you picking sides, knowing only one side. It's a bunch of fifth graders went to recess, and they picked up the rope and said, let's play tug of war. You have no idea if they're about to rope in the teachers on the other side or some other fifth graders, or the third graders in this case, and you wring them through the mud and just go for a victory lap. Wait for something like this, or let it pull back and then base out. I'm telling you guys, you'll be around much longer. I'll get to make fun of you much more longer. You'll get to make fun of me. It happens a lot on the streams, so don't get offended by anything I say. Would you recommend to buy Doge right now? Pablo, I would recommend you watch this stream from the beginning. And I don't say that in any offensive way, but this is going to start to get repetitive because I've said that a lot. I am live right now. I know my background is Don Fron Show. Don Fron Trading. You can watch from the beginning. I start with Doge and I go all into it, a full blown lesson. I've been trading for 12 years as of January. Um, so if you want, just check that out. And for everyone asking about DGen, anything, everything I just said tonight on all of your meme coins, watch from the beginning. What crypto would I buy? I buy, and I'll tell you guys this before I move on to futures and everything else. I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, every week I buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I put that same amount in a savings account. So I have 3 transactions happening every week, and it's automatic. And when it dips down, I take that savings and I chunk it in. So when the dip does happen, I'm throwing in, and we're getting more. I currently have 15 Bitcoins. I want to get to 20, and that's my goal. And right now, I am buying more right now because at this point, it's coming to a thing where I want to get the 20 while it's below 100,000. After that, I think I would rather be on the gain train at that point. But still just kind of buying whether it goes up, whether it goes down every week. Can I have a Bitcoin? I just hand them out. Yeah. As soon as I get to 1 million subscribers, I will give away a Bitcoin. If I have 1 million subscribers before it's 100,000, yeah, you got it. Bitcoin giveaway, a whole coin. Am I only trading the 4 hour? This is typically where I hang out. Is the 4 hour? I could take advantage of a much bigger move. I'm not scalping, paying a bunch of fees and slippage. I'm just there. Bitcoin's going to surprise everybody, hopefully to the upside. Hopefully. You trade 4 hour TF? Is that the F? Great idea. Don's weekly Bitcoin giveaway. I would need to have a lot. I would need to probably start making that YouTube money if I'm gonna start giving my money away. So TikTok's doing a good job. 330 followers. Yeah, YouTube's at 60. We're moving and grooving. How much is a Bitcoin? Let's talk about that. So let's get into my normal live streams. If you guys do show up, this is stuff I will go over. That's why. Okay, hang on. I want to move TikTok back over. There we go. That's why it was over. I had this turned off. We're back. So I do pay attention to these zones. These are just areas where I think buyers and sellers are. Typically, banks they use algos to get in and out, and most people will describe algos as this big scary term because they don't know what it is. That's all it is. They can't just go sell a whole order. If they click market sell, things would gap down. It would be absolute nuts. So they use algos to get in and kind of hide their orders. And that's what hopefully I'm finding with these zones. That's what I pay attention to. Purple is weekly. Yellow is daily or 4 hour. Blue would be hourly. So if I'm on a smaller time frame, I'm checking the blue zones for that. Right now, I am looking to short the U.S. dollar, just kind of looking at this whole range right here. I will say the second. Now, this is why I bought a lot of Bitcoin at 16,000. Got made fun of, too, on my YouTube channel, because I saw that institutions were buying Bitcoin as a hedge against U.S. dollar, because I happened to be watching the U.S. dollar, and this went down and Bitcoin went up in tandem, a one-for-one move. And at that point, I knew it wasn't just retail buying and telling their wife's boyfriend on Facebook about how much Bitcoin they bought. It was serious money. So I bought a whole bunch of it. And the second I see that happen again, I'm talking alarm bells are going off. I'm telling the world it's time to buy everything. Train says DXY to 0. This guy's speaking my language. He knows the way to my heart. He's got an orange profile picture. Is that cheese? Because now I'm just thinking you're on both sides of my heart. It's looking good. The amount of followers that just dropped when I went away from Doge. It's funny. All right. So, no way. Oh, never mind. Dang. I thought this was the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. I was like, I'm rich. I'm long this, but I'm actually short the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. Do not, please, for the love of God, be playing head and shoulders. It's just a pattern that is going to make you probably poor. I did draw this talking about it, how that could end up panning out. You go making trades based off that, it's probably not going to happen. So again, looking to short. I want to be short this a lot. So right now, I already am short. That position is red. When it does turn around, I'm adding on a lot. So I hope the dollar does go to zero. I hope the Japanese yen is the new dominant currency, or close. We can at least give that story, that vision out, and then I could be rich for a bit. Bitcoin right now is at $87,700. We jumped up. Oh, we're holding up at this little yellow box right here. Good. This thing needs to chill. Where would I buy the dip? I would expect the dip to be about 76,000 if it did pull back. It's going to be 11,000. And the grand, I'm sure that might get some headlines, but it's Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin can cover that ground literally tomorrow and then be already back up by Saturday. Yeah, it'll be back up. So I wouldn't freak out. If it did get down there, I would chunk a little bit more in. But right now, see how it just based out, and that's why I'm watching that, just like I went over. Some sellers showed up. We ran those sellers over, but somebody still cared about it at that level, so that's why I'm just worried about that. Pulls back into that, I'm looking for a higher low. Ruben says, I'm out. No Doge. Peace out. Like, are you not watching, or are you just out of Doge? You sold it all. What can you say about Trump MAGA? What can I say about that? Nothing, because until it pertains to an actual trade, I don't care. I don't really talk politics on here. I don't care about anyone's opinion. Your opinion was formed over your lifetime, whether it's in agreements with mine or not. Again, I have an income bias. I care more about money and making it than I do anyone's political opinion. I will say this year has me so burnt out on politics, what I've seen online and everybody talking about it. I could be good with not talking about it for the next, 10 years. Anyway, right now, I'm not going to sell Bitcoin. If it does get down, I will buy more. I think it's a coin. It's a coin. Ooh, I feel like these people are making coins and you're just buying the name and they know it. And I feel like there's a rug pull on all of them, because why would I make a coin with that name? It's to attract gamblers. It's to attract people who have no idea what a coin's protocol is. I'd be very cautious of that. All right. So this is ES is going down. Heck yeah. Oh, melt this thing off. It would be quite a red day if tomorrow was actually that yellow zone. So this is the S&P futures. Again, you've probably heard of SPY or QQQ. This is what drives order flow into that ETF, which is why I watch this. If this gaps, I care about it. If SPY gaps, I really don't care. As far as futures open today, they close for an hour every day. Take a little nap, a little breather. They opened up, gapped down, and we're selling off, which is absolutely amazing because, again, this is what Doge looks like right now. Just up and up and up and up and up. And it's very hard to buy on this uptrend. And even in my chat, I feel weird because we're just twiddling our thumbs. You're either on that train or you got to wait for the dip. If you, again, want to make money and not just get chopped up, this is rough. So I think quite a few of us are probably going to be excited for this dip buy. We started to base out right here. We held it. Sellers, again, just took over. Again, here's worst case scenario. If you buy Doge after it flattens out, you put your stop right here, you tag out. You take one small loss, you let it dip down a little bit further, and then you buy a real dip. This is not a dip buy. This is a continuation play. I think we're waiting for the dip buy. Markets are at highs. I think all this is the Trump pump. So here's the elections. Trump's going to be president. Bing, bang, boom. We send it. Something we did talk about. Again, I don't bring up politics, but as an election, there was one the markets clearly favored over the other. I don't know if we would have got this reaction if Kamala was president. Nonetheless, all short term. As far as presidents go, I feel like I have to say this now for TikTok purposes. It doesn't matter who's president. All right, red, blue, if there ever is a purple one. Markets are always there's times markets are green in both scenarios, markets are red in both scenarios, so don't really care about that. But I do think markets favored Trump for this one, so you just get this short-term reaction off it, right? Next will be like, are we going to follow through with this? But nonetheless, markets are just trending up. We're in a bull market, so all you can do is buy the dips when they happen. I do think there will be a crash next year, so hopefully you guys haven't lost all your money on Doge and you can still be here for that. Crashes are where a lot of money is made. You can still be long. When the crash happens, go short, send it. And you take those profits and you buy the dip and you just double dip on everything. It's not incredibly hard to do at all without even timing the top or the bottom. You could just halfway do it and kill it when the market crashes, which I do think will happen next year. I'm ballparking. We're just throwing darts. I'm thinking Marchish. But for right now, this is not the crash I've been talking about. This is nothing. If it pulls back down to here, I'm buying it. I will probably buy SPY calls, and I'll probably go long a couple futures contracts. But right now, I need to wait for that to happen. New Doge video. Check out YouTube Don Fran Trading. Patreon and bio Linktree if you're wanting to learn. Shout out to my admin, Casey. She's killing it. Where should I put 3K? In my pocket. I will tell you a cool story about where it went. Just kidding. Before you give it to somebody else, consider it. Just consider it. Okay. I've never had anybody donate 3K to me before. I don't know. Really depends on your plan. There is a video coming out in actually 14 minutes on YouTube on Don Fran Show about plans and are you trading or investing? Because your 3K, very open-ended question. So you need to answer that plan first before I can answer that. Can I briefly explain what futures are for TikTok? It's being asked. Okay. They're actually what drives a lot of the market. It originally came out, and it's got its name from Starbucks. You guys like Starbucks, don't you? Yeah. Remember when that one guy told you to not drink Starbucks in the morning and you'll be rich? Who listened? Come on. $6 a day, and you'll be a millionaire next year. Not on Earth, but if you spent $6 in Pepe every day, you'd probably still be a millionaire in Pepe coin. Anyway, okay, so Starbucks, they have to buy their beans, right? So this was a way for like Starbucks to do their accounting. They go to the futures market, they buy all their beans on there because they're saying, I'm going to give you this. I usually give this example in corn because I know there's bushels of corn. I actually don't know what beans are rated in, to be honest. There's barrels of oil, bushels of corn, but they're going to say, hey, I'm going to give you this much per bushel of corn. And that's throughout the year. You can do your whole accounting throughout the year based off of that. And they're saying, hey, I'm going to deliver this in the future to you at this price. Farmers can sell their crop. Everything can happen in the future. So again, that's just where it got its name from. So you're selling real stuff. It's funny enough, it used to be delivered to your door, but a lot of brokerages had to change that to automatically a cash settlement. You can look this up. There was a guy in Florida who did buy some oranges, future oranges, orange futures contracts. Anyway, they expired. He took delivery. Had like 1 or 2 tons of oranges delivered to his house. Absolutely hilarious. Bushels of beans too. Okay, thank you. But anyway, how wild would that be? Take that to the farmer's market. Might have a nice little business on the side. Anyway, there's no PDT rule. There's a lot of tax advantages to it. There's a lot of people there's a lot of gamblers that jump into futures for those reasons. They don't have 25 grand to jump in the stock market. So this is a leveraged aspect, by the way. Not leveraged like options. Options kind of spool up. Futures stay relevant. It's like a supercharger versus a turbo. Futures are supercharged. This is the S&P 500. It is a cash settlement. No one's going to show up to your door with 500 pieces of paper and say you own this many of each company. But the most liquid product out there is the S&P futures. Yeah, orange juice, frozen concentrate. You'd probably have to freeze some of that. Soybeans, coffee beans contracts are by the pound. Okay, so each contract is 37,500 pounds. Thank you. And then it's what, 1,000 gallons? Yeah, I think it's 1,000 gallons per barrel. No, it's traded in 1,000 gallons. I just know it's $1,000 per $1. Do I think Doge and Pepe are done for the year? I can answer this one. My opinion, probably not. I think there will probably be a pullback, and I think the second wave happens. If that second wave has a lower high, it's done. That's probably too much for the coffee grinder to handle. Now that you mentioned it, I wouldn't mind buying that much. Anyway, where do I get into futures? How do you start doing futures? First of all, I would say follow me and start asking these questions in live streams. It's a completely different asset class. If you think you make a bunch of money on Doge, wait till you try an ES contract. There's a reason. There's a reason why you won't look back at meme coins, and it's because doing it properly, you will literally laugh at the meme coins. You bought Doge at 31. Ooh. That sucks. You're right there on the edge. Do you want to put your stop in the green, or do you want to rock that out? I don't like green trades going red. Am I playing Baba tomorrow? Is that because Michael Burry, his statements came out, and he did he add more to Baba? I had someone ask me about that earlier. I'll look at Baba. Give me 1 second. Let me get these futures done. This is supposed to be a quick stream too, until 300 of you guys showed up. Futures headed south. I guess if there was a knife catch, if tomorrow we could only make it to here, I would buy. I would be bullish over the weekend. But that's if like Friday before the bell, markets for me close at 3 p.m. We're talking 2:45. We're right here. I would go bullish over the weekend. If we're breaking through that, I'm away for that zone. All right. Actually, let's go over the expected moves. Market makers do have this priced in. We're almost there. I think the fireworks are probably done. We'll close somewhere around here. I do bet we'll be down tomorrow, which is amazing because we needed a pullback after this run. The NASDAQ. Now, I prefer this one over the ES, the S&P 500. So if I can get NASDAQ here at this zone, I would buy that one. Grandpa Dow, a little bit of a pullback. So we played the back and forth game right inside here, finally breaking that to the downside. It's not the best dip buying at this blue zone. I would really buy the dip down here. In fact, I'm going to put my alert right here. When that alert goes off, I'll buy a futures contract of that. I have not traded this in a very long time, but that'll be the day I do. Okay, so we're going to talk about Baba. Michael Burry added to his Baba and JD position. I didn't want Baba to break this. So Baba actually shot up. Ooh, man, I do kind of like it. So I trade at these zones. So like right now, I would get in Baba and I would stop at 85.85. So that's about $5 per share. So if I only want to risk $20, I'm only going to buy 4 shares. Now you do the math with how much you're comfortable risking. That's risk management. That's really what it is. So take your money that you would put on that poker table or the blackjack table, and that dealer is going to swipe those chips or stack them. You're comfortable with that amount. If it's too little, you make stupid decisions. Anybody out there would buy 3 Doge coins because it wouldn't matter. Whatever. And you also wouldn't care if it went down because it's too little. Now, I say go put your entire bank account on Doge, right? You bet next month's rent on there. You're going to be a little hesitant. Nope, that's a little bit too much. You can't risk that. That's too high. You go doing that anyway. You're not sleeping at night. You have anxiety. You're watching it every 5 seconds. Good luck focusing while driving. Too high. Okay, so you want to be right there in the middle where it means enough for you to pay attention, not enough that you're losing sleep, not too little that you really just don't care, because you can make stupid decisions because it's too small, and those will add up. So I don't care if you have $10 million. If you're only comfortable risking $100, that's all you can do. So like my trade would look like this right here. So I'd have to buy it right here. Now my stop loss again would be 85.85 right there. And realistically, it's going to suck. I would have to add on right there. I would think we got to worry about this. I would really like it to get all the way up here. And how I would do that is a couple things. So I would buy it right now. And then if it drops down, I would add on into this zone right here. Now, if you noticed, stops stay the same regardless. There's my take profit on all of them. If I'm only risking $20, that's 4 shares. We cut that in half. I can buy 8 shares and still risk the same amount. So take all that in consideration. I'm not doubling down because it's at zero. This is all part of the plan before I ever click the buy button, which is why I have all of that answer. I can't stand when someone comes in here and they're like, hey, where should I stop out? You shouldn't be in the stock if you don't already know that question before you ever click the buy button. I know every scenario in my head before I ever click the buy button. Yes, the thing could get delisted. Chances of that are about here. There's a lot of other things that could happen. So realistically, what could happen outside of some one-offs? It sucks when you lose more money than you think, but if it goes down in history, like CrowdStrike ends up being one of the biggest tech mess ups in history. All right, it took a historical moment. I'm fine with that. Sucks to suck, So I would take a trade. It would look like this. By the time it got up to here, I would add on and I would move all my stop up to, it'd probably end up being like 91.85. Actually, if it was in that zone, it'd be 92.35. And it would keep going. Every time we base out inside of these zones, I would use that as a way to add on. That's how I would add on to my positions. But there's no way I'm going to rock 1,000 shares up and 2,000 shares down. So by the time I'm adding on, my whole stop is in the green. And I'm making money regardless. Crazy that almost 200 new followers on TikTok. That's 4 times. I have 4 times more followers than I do people watching live on YouTube. That's wild. What's that algorithm doing? No, this is not. We're about to jump into mentorship right now. I'm about to just tell TikTok. I appreciate everyone that showed up, especially everyone that stayed after I quit going over Doge. If you are late and you're curious about Doge, you don't have to subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm just genuinely telling you from the beginning. You can go to Don Fron Trading, no spaces, and it's not from. It's FRON. It's just the shortened version of my name. Don Fron Trading. Go to tonight's YouTube channel. It's just Elon. It just says Department of Government Efficiency. Go watch from the beginning. That's where I go over Doge, a trade plan, everything that I do. If you want to just check that out, just go to, and you can come right back here, live in your little home at TikTok with 15-second videos. Okay. But if you ever want, just, you'll have the full screen, everything. It's on, when I go live, I'm on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. Someone's talking about Dogecoin right now. It's really what I'm talking about. I have to hop off here. On Thursday nights, I go live on Zoom with my private group, so they can interrupt me 47,000 times. I like it. Recession incoming. Hey, easy. That's not till next year around March 26th. But who's counting? I will answer this. XRP or Dogecoin? I think XRP stands to hold up a little bit better. I think it's going to be a little bit more resilient. If I join your level 3, I have roughly $2,500 to invest with and possibly could do more. Sweet. So Patreon level 3 is where I go live every night with the group. You tag me in the chat all day. Ask the people in the chat, is it worth it? Okay, what makes me think March? I think it's going to be inflation and jobs, unemployment, and I think it's going to come back up. They're going to blame Trump for it. And honestly, I said this before Trump was even president. I said it doesn't matter who's president; it's going to happen around this time, and that's that. We'll see if I'm right. That's just me throwing it out there. Could I give some tips to some new crypto traders? The tip right now, and I swear I'm not just saying because I know everybody says this. Go to YouTube, Don Fron Trading, and watch today's video. I went into a whole bunch of lessons just on this. So I'm genuinely saying I don't care if you subscribe. I'm going to be live on both the channels anyway, but you can't rewind on TikTok. That's what sucks. And it doesn't play these live streams like YouTube will later. Anyway, no, I think I'm going to be buying Baba tomorrow. Erica with a K. Is that you? PayPal. I will do this. Then I have to get to my group. Ooh, weekly zone. I would really like to buy PayPal at 80. In fact, I would even sell some 80 strike puts on this, and I would take shares at 80. Right now, it probably needs to chill a little bit more. It's definitely on the trend up. Been doing well, but coming into that zone, I expect some sellers to be here. Pulls back, makes another higher low at the $80 mark. I'm in. I like it. PayPal's been one that I liked for a long time. In fact, I liked it until it broke this zone, and then I got out a while ago. But it is one that I do like. Markets are shaking out all the losers right now. Yeah. Anyway, all your Doge questions. I even go over Degen. I think we went over Pepe as well. Just I have to get out of here, guys. I'm sorry, but just check out the YouTube channel, and it's just tonight's video. You don't have to watch all of them. Just watch tonight's. I promise you will learn. If you're asking about Doge right now, I promise you on everything, you will learn something from the video in the very beginning. Anyway, mentorship. We're going live on Zoom. Everyone else, you will see me next time I go live. Erica says she got in at 65. That changes everything. If I got in at 65 and I'm managing this thing, do I want to get cute with it? Again, do I want to stop out, buy back in later? If it's a hold, you're gonna have to pay taxes on that. Or I got in at 65. I put my stop. I mean, I could comfortably put my stop at 72.45. Forget about it for a little bit. Breaks above this weekly zone, I'll move my stop up to $84.45, and I'll stay on the gain train. As long as it's headed north, I'm on. When it turns around, I'm out. This is my stop. Now, easy, plain as day. It's a lot less stressful, and you just open up and see how much more money you have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, super shout out. I think this is probably my biggest day on TikTok, so it definitely drug this out a little bit longer. But anyway, hope you guys have a good one. Yeah, I'll see you guys again the next time I go live. It will be Sunday for sure. Have a good one.